Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and we are now at day 7 of our 180-day sprint slash marathon for the live stream challenge that Jesse Pollock threw down. And this is AI Agents.box really wanting to position this as the on-chain community for AI. We believe that AI agents is going to be one of the biggest narratives here unfolding in 2027. And we're going to be continuing this same time throughout next week, but these conversations are going to shift from AI agents.box centric to myira.fund. We literally hosted our very first pre-launch conversations for myira.fund yesterday and going to have another office hours here later today. And let me actually go real quick. We've got our link tree set up, and this is one of the things that will be on any of the links wherever you're watching this. And make sure that you subscribe to our calendar over here, and this is the calendar where you can get the events that are going on. One thing that I wanted to talk about and join with me today on this office hours, and really wanting this office hours to be where we can come together and just kind of brainstorm, collab, ask questions. People want to pop in, pop out, whatever. But one of the things that I wanted to show is this is one of the functionalities that we are going to encourage are people to go to. So when you're looking at the event page here, I'm already RSVP'd. And what I'm talking about here is the invite a friend link. This is something that we are going to be having fun. We're really creating our ecosystem to be invitation based, but not only invitation based, reward the people that are helping to grow the ecosystem. So make sure you start using this whenever you're inviting people, sharing it on social media or whatever, because there's some great functionality to do that. And one of the things that we will likely do after we get some funds in our community treasury for AIagents.box is likely start having a weekly contest. 180 days, that's approximately half a year. So when you unpack that there are 50 weeks a year, the opportunity for us to, this is week 1 of 25, let's just call it 25 to keep a nice round number of having a weekly contest. But anyway, did you want to chime in some thoughts there on that, Ernest?
Nope. Sorry, mic was just open. I was
No,
getting
no,
a drink.
no worries. All right. Well, looking over here at our Google Docs, this is where we're organizing some of the thoughts. And I was having a little bit fun with the emojis. This Google Docs is getting fairly wieldy from a document tab standpoint. And this is one of the newer features in Google Docs that I'm really enjoying, especially when you're thinking about here. And I'm not exactly sure how many live streams that we've already done through the brand new AIagents.box channels. And wherever you're watching this, one call to action that I want to make, I'm not going to go there right now, but make sure that you follow our page on LinkedIn. The crypto Twitter, crypto X narrative is really strong, but depending on who you're following on LinkedIn, it's also very strong there as well. So all of these progress conversations are happening over here, and I'm going to create like here's the week for next week. Don't even have any tabs in there yet, but we're here on day 7 for the first week, which is this little number here. And going over here, scrolling down, want to talk about our Feld culture on any time that we're talking about things fun, earning, learning, and giving. But anyway, I want to open it up now. Ernest or I am Lotus, what would you like to talk about during today's office hours?
Uh, I think I've noticed in our Telegram that Ernest have used a lot of tools already, and I wonder if he can explain those tools that he used to create his contents.
Yeah, it's my plan today is to like review everything that I've done in the last week and put it in something where I can do that. So let me get that done today, and then sometime this week we'll figure out a time that works good for you, and we'll schedule a working group at that time, Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you. I'm really impressed on the video that you have put out because it's like mostly, uh, I guess, things that you created. It's not a person. So,
Yeah, did you see my latest one with the kangaroo and the
yeah,
koala?
yeah. It's just long, but it's good.
Yeah, so the AI tool that I used to generate the script ended up being that long, and I created an 8 second video, and then that 8 second video is just on a loop. So the video doesn't align with the talking because they're not synced up in any way. Um, but yeah, it was surprisingly easy with the video. I actually had to pay for a service. Um, the what did I use? I'd have to go back and find out. Oh, Sora.com, which is the video version of Chat GPT that focuses on just video. I actually had to pay for that and pay for the open AI, um like not the free version, but the paid version. So I got a little extra. It's only like 10 or $20 a month. Um, but yeah, to create the videos, I've also found, just lastly, real quick, that like audio, creating good audio, whether it's scripts or individual people or whatever, usually also takes um some type of cost.
Yeah, and that's my expectation, Ernest, that this is all going to be more of a pay to play, and that's a good segue to one of the things that I was mentioning. Wanted to recognize you as a AIagents.box contributor of the week, and we're going to help you containerize your experiment here. And hopefully, with that $100, will that'll help you to bootstrap your character AI here because this is one of the things that really excited because the opportunity, to give an agent like a little bit of capital and then really start evolving through their own agency to create, because you think about content itself, quality content. And let's be honest. There's a lot of not so great content that's still, different mechanics allows things to create rewards for whoever is the benefactor of the content, and that's one of the things that we're really going to be unpacking via Unchained Ambassador. So, thanks for all that you're doing, Ernest. And it was funny. I was talking to Tyler, Mrs. Yonks, about that, and she's like, "Yeah, that's amazing. He's doing some cool stuff." So, she's watching Brooke, so she's her participation is going to be mostly around my IRA fund, where she brings an immense amount of experience from her finance background. So, thank you, Ernest, for being so amazing and hopping in so fast and ferociously into this sprint along with me here. Makes it easier when somebody else is doing some of the cool stuff like you are, and I get to orchestrate some of the other stuff that I'm decently good at as well.
Yeah, no, frame the scope, and I'll try building testing to the scope. And thanks for that. Yeah, so I'm testing out a couple, and the main thing with the audio, the voices, is the downloading. Like you can use their editor and create it and everything and listen to it. But if I want the actual digital rights to what was created through the app, I gotta pay. So there's a couple that I'm checking out. Um, and I'll have one of those by the end of this week. So there should be basically, you need, if you want to read, if we want to create something from our notes and then have avatar read it, or a couple avatars talk back and forth about it, got to be able to download the audio. And then I can always generate video on with one app, audio on another app, and then I bring that into my editor. And then the other thing that we should talk about this week is so the videos and stuff that I am producing, I always have an intro and an outro that kind of, shows, hey, this is what we're doing at aiagent.box. So if we can, I, I should just make a nice intro that has the right website links that we want to use, the right messaging, the right proportions, so that, I am starting to get a little bit more traffic on my YouTube channel from posting these videos. So I want to make sure that the intro and the outro actually, point people to where we want them to go.
Was looking for the software button to unmute myself. So create a community usable, let me get back to this window, intro and outro. And that's a fabulous intro idea. And that's the kind of thing that we could do like through a rewards mechanism. And that's one of the things that I'm really wanting to explore, the rewards functionality within Charmverse. Right now, until there's a better tool leaning heavily into Charmverse across our ecosystem and here we're calling that our DAO portal. And one of the reasons that I like Charmverse is that it's Web3 native. So like here, all of us that are on the pre-launch call today, we're using HATS protocol. And this is one thing that I want to talk about here today. And I'm not sure if we want to digress. Let me finish this. Create a community usable intro, outro video clip. And then we could talk more about that. Let's see, this could be a rewards, i.e. retroactive funding. One of the other things too is talking about like so content. I think I kind of buried this over here a little bit. Hats team, hats template. So one of the things I think most of us will agree that a lot of people are pretty visual people. So one of the thoughts here is I'm not sure how the AI agents and Hats tree will potentially operate. I do know that I was on the recent HATS protocol community call here in December, and that's one of the things that Nick, the co-founder of HATS, said that there's some breakout conversations around, and AI or agents and stuff like that. So this will be really interesting, and I think that we can. And I put a couple of goals here. Use Hats Tree to visualize various roles that we will architect through AI agents with various agentic AI frameworks. Creates Hats templates that we can easily fork for various use cases. And again, I have no idea what that workflow is going to look like. But when you think about an AI agent, the main purpose of it is to do workflow automation. So the opportunity to build this into the AI agents that we're going to be doing, and then have this really cool visual tree where somebody could potentially, like the whoever has their own agency. Like I've already mentioned and will continue to mention, we Yonks team, we're going to create a Yonks team AI agency that's going to support Yonks team ventures. And this is one of the things Yonk's Team Ventures is an entity, and the Yonk's Team AI agency will also be a legal entity. And one of the things that have talked about is the opportunity of containerizing these agents, because the opportunity for these agents to grow and develop and become worth something, that you may want to say, okay, well, this agent's banging, like I want to sell this, and to because somebody might want to buy it. And I'm just thinking out loud because I have no idea what this is going to evolve into, because we're so early, but it's gonna entirely redefine how that we interact with technology as people, because we're going to be more interacting, in my opinion, with our AI agency that we create for ourselves, especially as content creators that are really leaning in, because I also think that there's going to be some early mover benefits. But anyway, going back over here, this is something that I'm thinking maybe creating a future working group out of, and this is something that I do want to talk about real quick. Here's an opportunity. This is our next tools working group. All of us that are on here today, the three of us have our time added on here. I'm going to see. Let me refresh this real quick. Make sure that there's not anybody else, because I'm wanting to get this scheduled so that we can get it circulated for more people to plug in and participate on. So this is something that I'm going to put out, that we're going to finalize, and I will do a announcement in our I'm gonna say let's finalize this by like tomorrow morning, or yeah, so that people can get that on their calendar for next week, because I also want to amplify this through kernel community. So I'm actually going to throw this in the link. But anyway, I've been talking for a minute. We've also got one other opportunity, but let's go back to the Google Docs here. So and let me make sure that I've got this on here, because I'm going to put this. So here on the main content tab, this is a place that we can kind of summarize some of our tools working groups. And I'm going to copy this over here. Um, uh, see this Google Docs tab. And this is where I'm going to put a link in here. Copy link. Okay. So I'm going to say that this will be next week. So here's the other one. I didn't get the link here, but that's the other one that I was talking about, the research tool. So next week we're going to have two working groups, the Eliza OS deep dive and then the research tools. And this is one of the things that, like I said, the further out that we can get that on from just a scheduling standpoint, like one thing that we want to do, whether it's a specific tools or like here, our first working group tools working group was surrounding AI art generators. I mean, that was so experimental. I haven't used AI art generators that much. I don't know if I will, because like that's not something that I want to get great at. I want to create a design studio using AI agents within my own Yonk's Team AI agency. But it'll be interesting to see how ridiculous I go with the Yonk's Team AI agency on creating some functionality here. But all right, cool. Hats template. Yeah.
I've
But
been I've been
go ahead,
pretty
Ernest.
I've been pretty successful with just the Chat GPT. I downloaded it so that I got the desktop application instead of just always using the word prompt. And then the OpenAI is one of those language models that I did put some funds on my account. I put like $10 or $20 on my account. So as folks um, interact with my metailer, I'll be able to see like how much that costs. So far, it's like costing pennies. It was like 9 cents yesterday or something like that. Um, but you do need, so the same thing would be with Venice. If if folks are wanting to connect Venice to their agents, um, having an account so that you don't get throttled, uh is cool. I've just been using the Chat GPT because it's like the basic starting point, right? And then everything else is slightly different from Chat GPT, whether you're using Venice or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm leaning heavily for a lot of different reasons of using Venice because I like that it's privacy in mind. And I think that that's one of the interesting value propositions that we can really um, amplify with my IRA.fund as well. And that's one of the things too, talking about what we're looking to do here with AI agents.box. Again, we're really wanting this to be a community for AI. I'm hoping that we can make it the most prevalent community for AI, especially with leaning into AI agents. And one of the things that going to continue to bring up when it makes sense, like over here on the home tab, we've got a manifesto, and this is something that not going to spend any time today, but just bringing it up here. And then one of the other things too, a governing principles and established practices. And this would probably be thinking of a DAO constitution. I'm using governing principles and established practices because we will likely organize AI agents.box as a Wyoming DUNA, a decentralized nonprofit association. I'm not going to unpack that right now as to why that's something that we will have a vote on as founding members of AI agents.box, this online community. But anyway, going back to some thoughts, we've got 20 minutes left here. What's some other things that we could talk about? So I don't see anybody chiming up right here yet. We've been talking a little bit about KYC, and this is something too. Um, KYC Synapse and with Persona are the two that we're really looking to use. And the reason for that is that they have Charmverse capabilities. So one of the things that we could do, if we're not like feeling too chatty on some things, is we could actually spin up our founding member NFT using Unlock Protocol. This is something that I've been kind of back and forth on as far as creating some breakout content, but with as behind as I am on getting these blog posts for this first week of our sprint and marathon. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Should we go ahead and create our Unlock Protocol founding member NFT?
Yeah, that's it. That's the other thing. I've been using the Chain GPT's NFT creator. It's been pretty neat. It creates like a collection, and then you mint one out of the collection to be like the NFT. But when you go into the NFT, you see the other images that were part of the collection that could have been chosen for that image of the NFT. Um, so yeah, we'd love to do some NFT stuff this week. We'd like to know what NFT platforms you're wanting to use. So my next step on the NFT front is to see if I can connect the Unlock protocol. So Chain GPT is on Arbitrum. Unlock's also using Arbitrum. So I should be able to, create an NFT that's it's like a single NFT, and then of course a subscription NFT. So I'm gonna test that out this week with but super
And I,
interested on curious, the tools that you're wanting to use and for the NFTs and stuff, and have some type
I'm
of page that
yeah,
that
well,
sketches out that workflow.
I'm glad that we're talking through this because one of the things you think about Unlock Protocol is it's a really like, and with it being an ERC 721, we can have a lot of fun around our member NFT because you think about like and this is something that I'm going to talk a lot about participation ladder. We're really wanting to architect a participation ladder. Like we're really wanting to create a very low barrier of entry with our founding member NFT. We're going to limit it to only be 100 right now because we're really wanting to control a little bit the growth until we're really to say, hey, we're ready to launch. And we're going to still have this be a paid member. I think that we can create enough value. And this is also something that we can think about as far as like a carrot to incentivize like the opportunity to create curated content that people would have to be a paid member of. I'm really wanting to keep the membership very, very low, $7 a year after we close out our founding member. And I'm going to put on this Google Doc limit of 100 at $7 a year USDC on base. And that's probably the main consideration too, from a design consideration standpoint. We're leaning heavily into base, and I'm anticipating that with AI agents in this framework that we're creating, that things will be chain agnostic. But right now, we need to simplify from a technology standpoint where we're looking to create a minimum viable product. And I expect to like we were talking a little bit like this Hey Anon framework with Automate is going to simplify things as well. And my expectation with all the effort that's being put forward from a dev cycle and resources standpoint on AI agents, and that the fact that most of this is open sourced, these conversations and these AI agents are going to be evolving very, very quickly. But anyway, I put out I'm not seeing any chat there. I know that we've got several people watching on the live stream. So let's go ahead and move on to creating our NFT. And I'm going to just do a timestamp here real quick because that's another thing too. We've talked a little bit about using because one of the main goals is to really use AI agents to substantially elevate the content like from a post-production. Here we're using this live stream. The reason that I love this live stream format, I'm going to get vulnerable here with you all. I'm very much a perfectionist. And the main reason that I love this live stream format is that it really makes it difficult for me to be a perfectionist. Once I press go live, that content is literally going out to all, like, I think we're streaming on 8 different channels right now, and that may likely amplify with, because we can stream up to 30 channels with our current restream account that we have. So it's once you're live and once it's out there, it's almost impossible. It take a lot of effort to change or modify that stuff after it goes out there. So anyway, let's get on with the minting or the creation of our founding member NFT. So one of the things that I do from a best practices standpoint is I have a separate hot wallet for each project, and AI agents.box is a project. Let me make sure that I am logged in here on the Coinbase wallet. So here's the AI agents.box Brave profile that I have. Let me make this a little bit bigger here for everybody. Okay, an AI agents box.eth. So we're wanting unlock protocol, and just search for that here, unlock and launch app. And no account required, but you need to agree to our terms of service and privacy policy. And I'm not going to read that right now because I've already used unlock for a lot of stuff. Love the and so right here, deploy a custom membership or create an on-chain subscription. So let's go ahead and connect here. Continue with wallet, and we're going to use, so this here too is an important consideration, protected by Privy. Privy is a potential enterprise grade count abstraction service that we could potentially implement for creating our account abstraction within our ecosystem. This is something that we need to decide on and implement fairly early, because that's one of the things that we're really wanting to have an ecosystem account abstraction stuff in place. But I'm not going to unpack that right now, just putting that out there for consideration for everybody that's listening. So sign, Logging in with Coinbase wallet. So create lock, and this is, I'm going to show you how easy this process is using this fabulous graphic experience that the Unlock team has created. So deploy a custom membership. And as I mentioned, we are building on base. So selecting base here. And I think I've got the lock name over here on my Google Docs. We're going to just copy and paste this right here. Founding member of AI Agents.box. We'll see how well that this shows up. The little robot emoji. It seems to be showing up pretty well. Like the other day, I updated the calendar name on Luma from just AIagents.box right here, where I added the emoji. And I've been pleasantly surprised how well that those have been showing up in the, what's it called? The emails on the email notifications. So let's see. And we're going to set this to USDC. Membership price is $7 and membership duration is 365 days. Number of memberships for sale, 100. Okay, and I'm going to get a screenshot of this here because that's just the way I roll. Does that look good for everybody on the other end? And even if it doesn't, we can change it later. I'm not sure if you can change the name of this. This is one of the things that it doesn't, it seems kind of wonky how that works, but I'm going to go ahead and click on next. Looks good to me. Ready to deploy. Founding member, $7. One of the things that we're going to also do, and this is one of the things that we can update this is one of the reasons that I love Unlock, is that this is an upgradable smart contract that the Unlock Labs, and it's an open source project, so you can go look at the code all online. Let me see here. I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm on base in the. So here it's bringing up the transaction cost. So this is costing about 5 cents in a transaction fee to create this. This is one of the reasons that we love building on base. Very low transactions. This will take a few seconds. Feel free to rate. Go ahead, Ernest.
If I get my review done today, creating the based agent, that's what I call it, based agent, my first agent on base. I was just having problems with reading the format for how I gave it the private key info. So I'm waiting in their Discord to find out, the CDP Discord, the developer portal, what the issue is with the private key, because they give you a format where you run the string through some type of Python calculation, and then it derives your actual private key. But so anyways, for the first agent on base with its own wallet, I hope to have that up tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exciting. Love all the experimentation that you're doing, and also gave you a custom title. How did you like the AI mixologist in Telegram that I gave you there, Ernest?
I like mixologist. I do like it.
And yeah, I was just remember that you have your, and the avatar that you have right now. What's this character's name that you're rocking out? Is that your Me Taylor?
That's currently me, Taylor. Yeah, it's funny I gotta really tone down some of the background and stuff, because it's like everything it replies with has a metaphor. I do think it's super interesting how I got it to talk about permaculture, and so it actually might increase the amount of permaculture that it knows, and systems thinking and design stuff. Um, but yeah, it's real interesting to see how it, and the Telegram connection was by far the easiest connection to get going and starting with the bot. You know, there's problems with Twitter, um, and the Telegram bot is way easier to create than the Discord bot, even though the Discord bot wasn't too difficult. Um,
So, just thinking out loud here, Ernest, should we create a topic that's dedicated for people to just engage with me, Taylor, here on our Telegram?
so I'm creating a test bot called Me Winnie, right? 3Win. So their name's its name is Winnie.
Right?
So I'm creating Me Winnie, and I'm going back through the background right now. And so I also found in the Me Fun, so when it gives you these templates of like, do you want a manager, coordinator, or whatever, you're not just picking that one default template. You can actually for the manager, uh, it has like a few specific tasks that it's good at, and you can pick the management tasks that you want it to have. You can pick the build tasks that you want it to know. You can pick the culture um, things that you want it to know. And so you can actually pick pieces out of these templates that they've already created and then bring that into your bot. So I've just redesigned an onboarding agent, and its purpose is to be familiar with the 3Win ecosystem and to basically point people to the resources of the 3Win ecosystem. So once I've created it, my next step is to figure out like how to import as a source all the information that is available about the 3Win ecosystem. So um, because with chat gpt, right, you just pull up the window, you add source, you drop it in, you know, on the side, and then it's part of the source that it can reference. With the me.fun agents, I don't know how you add source material to those agents. So that's kind of the next thing for fine tuning your agent is, well, if I want it to help onboard people to 3Win, it's got to know something about the 3Win ecosystem. It's got to, you know, have access to the websites to be able to read them. Um, you know, how much, if it's in the 3Win social Telegram general channel, how much does it know, if anything, about the other channels, right? So uh, that's kind of one of the things I want to try to figure out this week is, well, how to give specific source material to your AI agent so that it can help onboard people and navigate, you know, the 3Win social system.
Yeah, for sure. And like one of the other things too, you think about having different data sources too for LLMs. The thing that I thought might be kind of interesting is like if you have a team of onboarding agents or and I don't know what this looks like, but like thinking about AI agents design, and this goes back, I'm gonna whenever I can talk about best practices, find, implement, and refine. And that's one of the things that I really want us to kind of champion that as we're continuing to experiment, be an AI mixologist or whatever the case may be. But yeah.
Hey, Ernest, don't forget to do the tutorial. I want to learn how to make one too.
Yeah, so I'll drop another link to my kind of template for where you start um in the chat here in just a minute. But basically you want to start thinking about and draft this, you know, in a doc somewhere. Like, what do you want your agent to do? And I really think an onboarding agent is probably one of the easiest things to start with because you want the agent to be able to tell other people, like, oh, these are the projects I'm working on. I want to help direct people to these projects. How do I do that? Right. Um, so I would recommend starting with thinking about what's an onboarding agent that's a friend of yours looks like, um, and flesh that out. And then hopefully Monday or Tuesday, whatever, at a time that's good for you, we can schedule an hour or two and set that up for you.
That's great. Can you put the link on our main TG chat? Because this one disappears, I think, after we're done with it, right? I don't know where to find it.
Probably, yeah. I'll drop it in the Telegram channel again. I'll put it in the AI.box Telegram. And basically, you want to know what you want your AI agent to do, how and in what manner and style, right? You want that agent to do it. You know, like, do you want it to be helpful and excited, or do you want it to be sarcastic and snooty? You know, um, and then once you know what you want it to do, how you want it to do it, then you start thinking about what does it need to know to be able to do those things the way you want it to do. So
And
those,
it posts stuff for you on your Twitter account by itself.
yeah, I left it running all night. Every three
I
hours, it's posting to my Twitter.
was like, oh, it's an automatic content creator.
It's creating the Twitter posts. It doesn't have a LinkedIn plugin. You know, it doesn't have a plugin for Charmverse. So I just did a search. There's no like AI agent plugin for Charmverse. But essentially, if you want your, Eliza bot to be able to edit and modify your Charmverse or help people with Charmverse, you need some kind of Charmverse plugin. And that hasn't been built yet. There is a library. I can't remember if it's on GitHub or if it's just on a web page, but essentially it has like all the plugins that are available for the Eliza OS. Um, so at some point, we're just gonna have to take a couple days and be like, okay, what tools are available, you know, other than just Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. The Farcaster, there is a plugin for Farcaster, so I do want to get something set up that can post to Farcaster, but currently the me.fun is not connected to Farcaster. It's just connects to Telegram, Twitter, and Discord.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the value, Ernest, of going through this conversation with hats. Like, I don't know if this template will actually be used for any functionality, but just like where we can say, okay, well, here's the visualization of whether it's by a roles-based visualization for what tools are available, and then the and real quick, I see John on YouTube. Thanks for interacting, John, real quick on that. So with like to answer your question, we as a bootstrapping organization, and let me just go back here to the unlock smart contract that we did, we're wanting to create a sustainable organization. And one of the things too that architecting into from a design consideration is economic incentives. And one of the things that we're going to be talking a lot about is on-chain ambassadors. And I'm going to throw a link in here. This link tree needs to be updated, but this is where I personally want to spend most of my time is working with on-chain ambassadors. And we're architecting into from an economic incentive for people that invite. Remember, I said that we're architecting our ecosystem where it's a by invitation, like, and this is one of the things that I'm sure as we continue to create more and more content, but like Ernest, who is, promoting already through his own efforts on their YouTube channel, for AI agents, he's basically being already an ambassador. And the opportunity, it's not much, but the opportunity, like with our unlock and this is one of the things that Unlock even has built in, is the idea of a referral or affiliate. We're going to be doing some more advanced stuff later as we evolve the 3Win social ecosystem. This site is going to evolve to be our CRM backend using and Fluent CRM. But anyway, I'm going back to this, like with a $7 member opportunity, and then that's just the tip of the value creation. Like we want to have different content and stuff like that that we're going to be creating value. So that's one way. Instead of just saying, "Hey, join like a free model." Once you have a free model, it's hard to convert people over to a paid dynamic. So we're just starting out. And one of the other reasons too that we're doing this, one of the other capabilities with Unlocked Protocol, and let me actually just do a real quick advanced search, that because this is one of the things that I'm going to get configured, is Gitcoin Passport. Because you think about a $7 a year membership with this founding member, for somebody that has like an army of AI agents, to buy all 100 of these with their army of AI agents, that would be very easy for them to compromise the governance here. And this founding member NFT is one of the things that we're going to be using for governance. So we're actually planning to incorporate a Gitcoin passport, where you have to have a certain amount of Gitcoin passport in order to do that. And one of the reasons that they implemented the Gitcoin passport, you think about paid events, one of the challenges that exist is like scalpers with paid events will come and pick up all the tickets and then resell them later. And that was one of the reasons that the primary reason that Unlock implemented the Gitcoin passport. And now that I'm thinking about it, let me actually add that as a future working group here, where we go through Gitcoin passport. And I'm going to go put this on for tools working group number 5. Show how to uh, increase your Gitcoin passport score. But anyway, I hope that provided some answers to your question there. So it's a proof of membership. Proof of membership, like one person, one vote, is a very common ethos of cooperatives. And with our membership NFT, that's definitely something that we will be able to incorporate, is a one member, one vote sort of dynamic. I also like here, one of the other things that we're going to do is, I'm a huge fan of meritocracy. Like the three of us here on the live stream, we're contributing value by participating in the live stream in the office hours and facilitating this. And like for me, that had to coordinate, it was a higher amount of effort than Ernest and I Am Lotus that are just joined the event that I facilitated. So that's one of the other things that we're going to architect into our dynamic. I have no idea what that's going to look like, but I'm expecting AI agents.box to be a public good that we can also get funding through some other mechanisms. But with a paid membership of $7, like you unpack 100,000 members, fast forward 5 years from now, like we do a great job building a high value community here, that $7 can add up over time. And we might say, hey, talking about a participation ladder, maybe we want a premium member. That would be another NFT where somebody's like, hey, how can I support you guys more? $7 is, trivial. Like I would like to, move up to like maybe a whale pass or VIP or whatever that we wanted to call it. But anyway, we're already 4 minutes over here. I'm going to stop talking and let I Am Lotus or Ernest give us any final thoughts to bring this home today.
What time is our IRA meeting?
So my IRA.fund, let me go back here real quick to it's at 7 o'clock. So that's in 2 hours. We're going to be reconvening here, and you can get on our AIagents.box event page. That event is available. So That's the one where I'm going to be spending most of our time and effort to really launch as far as creating a minimum viable product. That's one that we're looking to onboard founding members at $197 price point because the goal is to create a self-directed IRA using AI agents so that, as like I mentioned, Yonk's team AI agency, we're wanting to also have a Yonk's team IRA agency that will manage our self-directed IRA funds. So we'll be unpacking those conversations tonight. So thanks for bringing that up. I am Lotus, where I could plug that event one more time. All right, I'm going to stop sharing here. Do you have anything, Ernest, to bring us home with? Anything else, I am Lotus?
Nope, all good.
All right. Well, less than 2 hours. We'll be back. Slightly different Zoom channel, slightly different conversation, but absolutely around AI agents. We want to free some of those trillions of dollars, quite literally 15.2 trillions of dollars is largely held captive by traditional finance. And we're really wanting to give individuals the control over their own retirement arrangements instead of that being facilitated through intermediaries like traditional finance companies. So anyway, always love our conversation. I showed just gonna chime in. Ernest has a G Passport score of 45.3. So
I saw that. Congratulations. I need mine checked.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you just
and
gotta connect
go
it
ahead.
to a bunch of different things. I need to reconnect it to my GitHub now that I've actually done a pull request on GitHub to see if it changes my GitHub score. But and that was it's been probably 2 years since I've gone into Gitcoin Passport and um
But yeah,
connected to that.
we'll be unpacking the whole Gitcoin dynamic. I will probably use Mrs. for that working group because creating a Gitcoin passport score in order to be able to mint the founding member NFT. And one of the things I'm not sure if I'll take those thoughts offline. But anyway, 8 minutes over. I'm going to bring this to a close. We'll be back here. This is again day 7 of our 180-day sprint. So wherever you're watching this, make sure that you subscribe because we're going to build some really cool shit here, and we're doing it right in front of you all because that's the opportunity that we have is to really reinvent the future of tomorrow. Because the big takeaway with AI agents is people want results. They don't want to interact with software, and that's what we need to help them create. When we help people create results, it'll be a more fun day where we can do more fun stuff instead of just interacting with technology.
Yeah. Have a good day, Lois, and everybody else. Thanks, Fathom, for all your note taking and hard work.